Hey guys, it's me, and today I'm here with a new tag video for you guys. By the way, I did film a tutorial on this makeup look, so it will be coming out soon if it's not out already. So, yeah. So today I am going to be redoing the goth tag. I did this tag about a year and a half ago, and I remember a couple of months ago, Riri Phillips here on YouTube, she did this tag and she said, if you've done this tag, comment down below because I'd like to see it. And so I was like, hey, I've done this tag, let me go link it to you. And I pulled it up, started watching it for about 2 minutes and absolutely hated it. So here I am today redoing it. So yeah, so welcome to the redo of the goth tag. Question number 1. How long have you been goth? Okay, so here's the deal. I didn't fully start identifying within the gothic subculture until I was 17, like right at the beginning of, I think, maybe 2013? Yeah, right around there. So I've been identifying within the gothic subculture for about 2 years now, but I've been dabbling in with alternative cultures and styles since I was 13. So yeah, but I didn't start to identify within the gothic subculture until I was 17. 2. How were you introduced to goth? I was introduced to the gothic subculture partially through with my early dabblings into alternative cultures and whatnot, but also really YouTube. I remember when I was younger, I was one of those people who loosely threw the goth term around. But when I've started finding other goth YouTubers, I started to really learn more about the subculture itself, and as time went by, I was like, oh, so this is what it means to be goth. Okay. And then I started identifying as goth properly, if that makes any sense. 3. What gothic subgenre would you put yourself in? I do not like putting myself into categories when it comes to fashion and whatnot, because my taste in fashion and it's very different. I take influences from all the different subcategories within the gothic subculture. I really like Victorian goth and cyber goth, trad goth, metalhead, rivet head, and there's even this new thing that's come about called, I only saw it once, and it was on Tumblr or Instagram, I believe, somewhere around there, and it was called Couture Goth. And just going based off of my taste in fashion, that really suits well with me, because I'm really into high fashion kind of clothing nowadays. So yeah, so I can't really put myself into a subgenre because I take influences from so many different ones. So, yeah. 4. What do you believe to be the basis of the gothic subculture? I know the gothic subculture originated back in the 80s when it branched off of Britain's punk scene. So I guess you could say that it is a music-based subculture, but over the years it has evolved into this massive thing, both fashion-wise and music-wise. The music and the fashion has evolved and expanded so much that it's really hard to say what the gothic subculture really is nowadays because of that. But the original basis, yes, it is a music-based subculture, but nowadays it has just turned into this big, massive pot of everything. Number 5, what do you dislike about being goth? The one thing that I really dislike about being goth is 1, I know this is ridiculous and repetitive amongst many goths, but elitism within the gothic subculture and people thinking that if you don't like this particular thing, or you don't do this particular thing, or you do this particular thing, you are automatically not goth because of that. That annoys the shit out of me because everyone has their own tastes. And it's just, I don't want to be confined to this itty bitty little box. Like seriously, the 80s was nearly 40 years ago. Move on. Also, like, this is mainly comes with like people who don't identify with the gothic subculture. It's particularly men as well. Well, there are some women as well that do this, but it's mainly noticed by men because, I mean, hell, men are pigs. But it's definitely the over-sexualization of goths. We are some amazing, like, spooky nymphomaniacs, and it's just like, no. I am like one of the least sexual kind of people that you will ever meet. I mean, yeah, I'll make like sexual jokes and everything, but I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't enjoy sexual humor, and who doesn't make sexual jokes? Like, come on, who doesn't? Well, maybe super strict Southern Christians, but But I mean, like, that right there, it really bothers me because even with being a guy, like, it is a huge struggle with people like thinking that you're into like some really kinky stuff, and it's just like, no. And a lot of people who follow me on Tumblr, I've gotten questions from people asking me if I've been into like this or that because of the things that I reblog on there. And it's just like, the things that I reblog on there do not, like, they don't say anything about me personally. Because me, I'm really into fetish fashion. And it's strictly into the fetish fashion just because I like leather clothing, mesh clothing, latex, things like that. That doesn't mean that I'm a very, very kinky person. It just means that I really like that fashion. Number 6, what do your parents think of it? My dad is very okay with it. Like, he doesn't think that there's anything wrong or weird about it. He was a little bit, like, concerned in the beginning because, like, in the beginning he thought that I was becoming a Satanist. But he realized that, like, that was just, like, him overreacting and going based off of stereotypes. So, yeah. But my dad, he's perfectly fine with it. So, yeah. And like people on my dad's side of the family, they're also really cool with it. The people on my mom's side of the family, they're a different story. Number 7, eyebrows or no eyebrows? Well, currently I do have eyebrows. I don't know if I'll ever shave them off or at least shave parts of them off because I'm starting to get used to like having to deal with the fact that I don't have that much lid space to work with. But at the same time, I kind of do want to see how things would be if I didn't have eyebrows. But I don't want to like shave them off like now because I don't know much about brows in general. Like, I just recently started experimenting with like brow stuff with the makeup. So yeah, I don't want to like be like just dabbling into brow stuff and just being like, okay, bye bye eyebrows. Number 8, what is your favorite band? Okay, so I'm not sure if this means like favorite goth band or just like favorite band in general. I don't know why I'm moving like this forward. I guess I'm in a sort of theatrical mood. If it means like favorite goth band, I really, really, really like Siouxsie and the Banshees. They're pretty much the only trad goth band that I actually like. So a lot of people are probably like screaming in agony, but I mean, it's the truth. Because I'm not really that big of a fan of that singing style as well as the sound quality. There's a lot of trad goth bands and like death rock bands, the sound quality is just absolute shit. And also, I'm not really a big fan of that singing style, so yeah, but I do like Siouxsie and the Banshees. But if we're going like favorite band in general, you all should know this by now, but my favorite band of all time is Epica. So, yeah. Which I'm really bummed out that they're not coming to Atlanta for their North American tour. Like, the closest state that they're coming to for, like, to Georgia is Kentucky. And that's a long ways away from here. And I do not want to go to Kentucky just to go to a fucking concert. Alright, number 9. what is your opinion on Marilyn Manson? I really don't have that much of an opinion on him because I've never really been that into his work. Just saying. I mean, do I think like he's detrimental to the gothic subculture? To some extent. I mean, he's shock rock. There's a big difference between shock rock and goth. Whether if he identifies as goth or not, I have no fucking clue, and if he does, whoop-de-doo, he does. But I understand that Marilyn Manson has influenced a lot of goths and a lot of people within alternative subcultures altogether. But for me personally, and lastly, number 10, what were your baby bat days like? My baby bat days were terrible. If you consider like my days back when that was my ice maker. If we're going based off of like my days when I was loosely throwing the goth term around, those days were fucking terrible because I did the most back then. Like, I remember like seeing like pictures. I've deleted a lot of the pictures from back then, which I really wish that I didn't do because there are actually some good pictures in there, but I was just like, a couple of years ago, I was just like really ashamed of everything that I did back then because I was just like, holy mother of hell, you are doing the most, kid. Stop. Delete. I think I might have a picture of this one outfit, but, or at least part of this one outfit that I put together. I was wearing my spiked collar, my flaming peace sign necklace, and 2 rosaries. One rosary was silver, and one rosary was gold with like fake rubies on it. Like, I was doing the absolute fucking most and looking absolutely drop dead tacky. But when I started like fully identifying with goth back when I was 17, back then I was looking pretty damn good. I was looking pretty damn good, well, for like the early stages and everything, because it's just like I truly started to understand the gothic subculture and just started like really taking it all in. And also I had just gotten out of my dreaded scene phase, which you guys want me to make a video all about that. Well, but I had just gotten out of that scene phase that I had went through that lasted for about a year. And honey, like, I had some of the same clothes and I still have a lot of those clothes from way back then, but I wear them a lot better now. And I've learned that less is more when it comes to accessorizing. A lot of you guys know this, I don't really accessorize that much anymore anyways. So that is it for the goth tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm really glad to have been able to do this again and to kind of sort of redeem myself, because yeah, I'm really happy that I decided to redo this because the original, like I said, is absolutely terrible. I'm still gonna leave it up. I might take it down after a while though. I probably will take it down after a while, but who knows, I might just wind up leaving it up because I'm just like too lazy to do it, so whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, and all my links are down in the description box below. And until I see you guys in my next video, whenever that may be, goodbye.